Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Alcatraz, and he is in the Kirov, a tier 5 Russian cruiser. He's on the map straight in a 3-point domination game. So it's a tier 6 battle. Well, a few tier 6s around. Not too bad. There is a carrier. That could be a problem, I guess. Now, for the start, our Kirov here is spotted in the south, and he is going more in a central position here, most likely because he wants to use some island cover. Like the Kirov is, well, the Kirov has good guns, but the boat is rather squishy. And if you would prefer to have an island instead of some open water gunboating. Also, there is a decent amount of range, especially with the spotting plane. Which means if he is here in the center, he can shoot basically a lot of ships. And maybe he can use the islands to even stay undetected by doing so. Now, so far, looks good here in the north. The enemy isn't very aggressive, so the friendlies might be flipping the A-camp. Here in the south, there seems to be a fierce battle for sea. And nobody is interested in beaches yet. But you know, Kirov here, he has basically found a nice spot. And sometimes somebody is aiming at him. But so far, it doesn't look like too many ships are interested in shooting him. He has to be very careful, because as I said, the Kirov is a rather squishy boat. Now he's finally found a position where he basically can shoot somebody, and he is undetected. I mean, the Kirov falls under the, I guess, damage dealer role. Basically, you can't really push into anything because you're squishy. You have some short-range torpedoes. It's mostly, I guess, a Euro protection. More interesting around islands. But, you know, you don't have any support features like radar. I mean, obviously, a tier 5. So basically, what you want to do is you want to just stay nice and safe behind an island or at more longer range and just farm ships. Because, you know, you're pretty decent at dealing damage. Now that's fire number 5 so far in this battle, and this New York is getting nice and toasty. Now he is, like his current position is in some ways risky, as in if somebody were to shoot him, citadel him I would say, but he has nobody aiming at him, and he has the island right next to him. So basically what he is doing here, he is like, you know, I can sit here and I use all my guns, and if somebody shoots me, I'll just accelerate behind this island and save. I mean, there is shell travel time, and once this number here goes up and ships start aiming at him, he can be in safety in no time. So it's a pretty nice position here for him. And now somebody is aiming at him, but the question is who? Oh, 2 ships aiming at him. He is looking around if he sees any incoming shells, but so far, oh, I guess, you know, it just select him a little bit and then, I guess, realize that they can't really shoot him. And unfortunately, he's running out of targets. He's also he's no longer detected. I mean, he doesn't have great concealment. It's tier 5 ship. I'm like 13.8. I'm pretty sure that's without concealment expert. But you know, I mean, it's a tier 5 ship. You don't really need a 19-point captain on a tier 5 ship, I suppose. So anyway, Emerald is peeking around here. Could go armor piercing, actually. Yeah, I would go armor piercing against this Emerald. But the Emerald is probably going to smoke up. Now there is a very good part in this, because now he's no longer detected. And he can still blind shoot in the smoke a little bit. And there is a fire. Isn't that lovely? There are some torps going into this. Oh no. Torps ran out. So the friendlies control the north, the enemy controls the south, and the center is still open for grabs. Now also he has the friendly carrier nearby, which means he will have some help in the anti-air department if the enemy carrier decides to pay a visit, so that could be nice. And he also provides some protection for this carrier, basically, if destroyer were to try to YOLO it. But mostly now he is just looking for additional targets. I mean, he's done 66,000 points of damage, a pretty decent amount for a tier 5 battle. But he might have to reposition now. And oh, there is the enemy. Well, okay, there goes the enemy carrier. Question is where to now. I mean, his spotting aircraft is almost ready. He could just sit here and use it and farm the Piotr. There isn't much left of this enemy. There goes the spot. I guess he can also go for the Congo. I mean, the Congo is also pretty low. And yeah, the Piotr is done anyway. Oh, and there is an Emil. Now this might also be a good opportunity to switch to armor piercing. And the Emil is yeah, he's eating a Torp. Well, the Torp didn't do as much as I expected it would. And there is a fire. I mean, it looks like he's flooding and burning, so yeah, this Emil is done for. Okay, I guess next up we have Dunkirk there. You could also like continue shooting the Congo. I guess the Congo is getting rather low. So far this is a pretty even match. Like both teams have the same amount of ships. The friendlies actually have a slight lead there because they do control 2 cap zones, and that means they are gaining more points right now. You know, Kirov has... Oh, yeah, now he stays undetected. There's an island between him and the Dunkirk. And right now nobody can see him. Now, of course, if he reverses here a bit too much, then those ships might peek around this island. Exactly like that. I mean, I think like he reversed in order to keep this island between him and the Dunkirk, but obviously the problem is that there are ships elsewhere on the map that might now have vision beyond this island, I guess. Anyway, I mean, so far nobody is interested in shooting. Like, he's getting very lucky in that sense, because like if the enemy tried to shoot him, he would have to well, go behind cover, start dodging. He'd have a much harder time just doing damage. I mean, he's in a position where he can easily get away and get undetected again if enemy shells start coming. But you know, the enemy just like sometimes they target him, but for some reason they never actually really shoot him. So he can just continue to sit here and do what Kirovs do best. Burn stuff. So the Fuso has managed to go behind this island, but I think he's still burning. And there is the Emerald again. Well, down goes the Fuso, and he's reached the 100,000 damage by now. Not too bad for a tier... Well, it's a tier 6 match, I suppose, but too bad for a tier 5 ship. So far, still even on ships. The friendlies now control all the camp zones, so we have a perfect situation here. There is no reason to do anything too aggressive. All he needs to do is like keep his position here and just discourage the enemy from doing anything aggressive. And there is another fire. Oh, it's somewhat disgusting, and he can lob the shells over this island and then keep burning the Dunkirk. But it looks like the Dunkirk has managed to actually get out of there and get control of that fire. Now he's popping a Hydro here. I'm not entirely certain why. What is known about the enemy destroyers? Well, we know where the Icarus is. We don't know where the T-22 is. Was there any indication that the destroyer was around? I don't know. I mean, maybe he just wants to be safe. He has been here for quite some time. I mean, obviously, like the Emerald has torpedoes, and the Monte... however that's pronounced, probably has torpedoes. But I don't think there was anything that... Well, there goes Alien. Actually, what's the warp range of the Italians at this tier? I don't even know. Maybe he had a valid reason for going Hydro. Now, anyway, The friendlies are getting closer and closer to 1,000 points. The ships stay about equal, but you know, if the enemy doesn't capture something pretty soon, then they'll have no way of winning this. Also, he really should go armor piercing. Yeah, I mean, it's a broadside emerald. And again, I think you can probably citadel an emerald with high explosives. Well, one less emerald. Now the friendlies are even 2 ships ahead. The points ahead, they basically have anything. Of course, things like that could flip rather quickly, like the Nicholas is almost down, for example, and for some reason he is gunboating. So... Also, I find it amazing that he's still on full health here, but nobody like, he has been at this position for basically the entire game. And while the enemy sometimes aims at him, and I mean, he isn't detected all the time, obviously, but they just don't care. But it's probably finally time to actually get a move on here. Oh wait, no, he can shoot the cone. Well, and suddenly the enemy team is actually a ship ahead. But they are still right, like points-wise, it's still pretty desperate for the enemy team. Now, Congo is the last enemy battleship. If they can get rid of the Congo, that makes it a lot safer for our Kirov, because, well, battleship guns are kind of scary in execution cruiser. I mean, not that the Budyoni can't citadel you, mind you, but it's not that one careless broadside will, like, let's just say a Budyoni might need a little bit more time to farm you than a Congo. Anyway, the enemy Congo is getting burned to a crisp here, and now he can basically come out, try to hunt down the last remaining ships there. Now we have our carrier here who has been in the close proximity of our Kirov, but yeah, the Weser is getting rushed by an Icos. Now the Weser he should have tried to come back here to our Kirov. Basically, Alcatraz, he didn't want to move out when he was still dealing with the Congo, which was probably a smart choice, because, I mean, if he kept shooting the Congo while moving outward, he would have been detected. He might have ended up in a crossfire with the Budyoni. Right now he can come out here undetected. And I mean, if you see the Budyoni, he might have to angle against it and engage it. Of course, with the Budyoni not around and with the not spotting him, he can just go full speed trying to intercept the Icos. Now, for some reason, the Weser is still not trying to run. The Weser is trying to rush the carrier now. This is, I mean, the Weser is trying to rush the destroyer right now. And I think Alcatraz even said in chat that he's coming to help. Now, you see, he's almost here. Down goes the carrier. Also, could definitely hydro here, but the Icos just launched all of its torps, so I guess he realizes he doesn't need it. And maybe he wants to keep the hydro in case the T-22 shows up. And the carrier is sold. So basically the carrier sat there knowing a destroyer was coming for him and didn't run away. Then our Kirov even said, hey, I'm coming to help you. The carrier just charged into a destroyer and got torpedoed, and now he's blaming the Kirov for it. Yeah, okay. So, it's 2 versus 2, but, you know, the friendlies do have the point. Like, the enemy is flipping all of the camps, and the friendlies don't really have anything to spot the T-22 anymore with the carrier gone. But it's only 4 minutes left, so the enemy team will be hard-pressed to win this on point. And, well, our Kirov... Oh, the Budyoni is so low. So, basically, should be very easy to sink that. And afterward, it just leaves the T-22. Now the T-22 could easily, I guess, torpedo New Mexico. New Mexico isn't a very fast and maneuverable ship. But sinking the New Mexico and the Kirov in the last remaining time is going to be hard for the enemy DD. And the carrier is still butthurt in an exclusivity. Doesn't he realize that they are winning this battle? I mean, is he so blind that he can't even see how this goes with the points? And it looks like Alcatraz is busy writing in chat, eh? But, you know, it's okay. He's got shells out on the Budyonny, considering how low the Budyonny is. It's taken care of. That just leaves the T-22, who is too far away to get torps off right now. Which means the Kirov is perfectly safe here. They had 923 points and it's 3 minutes left. He's trying to flip the cap, but it's not needed. And that brings us to the results. Alcatraz earned himself 1936 base experience, and very nicely done. I mean, he just found a great position, sat there and farmed the enemy team. And considering that the friendlies held all the camps, there wasn't any reason to do anything else. He also achieved an Arsonist, a Confederate, Kraken, Videra in a high caliber, scoring 131,000 points of damage and sinking 5 enemies. And for a tier 5 battle, that's quite impressive. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.